So I've been working out for 7 years now, which is crazy to say. We're approaching a decade, and I've made a lot of mistakes on the way. So if I had to restart from day one with having the knowledge I do today, I would do a lot differently. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how I would personally get jacked if I had to start all over again. So no BS, no wasted time. Let's get into it. Before we dive into this video, let me tell you something that so many of us guys do. I was guilty of this too. You go into the gym with the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna smash these weights, I'm gonna go so hard, I'm gonna go crazy, I'm gonna kill it, I'm gonna fuck up my body every session, I'm gonna go hard. But you've literally not even understood that to master your body, you must master nutrition. I wish someone told me that. I know damn well, even when I started, I was one of the hardest workers in the gym. But for the first couple of months, my physique wasn't, really reflecting that. I didn't really make that much results. And that's because my diet was trash. It was trash. And it got to a point where I had to realize that unless I master my nutrition, I ain't gonna master my body. I'm not gonna get the results that I desire. So step number one is you need to master that nutrition. You need to understand that your body is essentially an engine, right? And your food is fuel. And I'm not even gonna go too deep into this topic because the reality is it is quite simple. Just eat real food, bro. McDonald's ain't real food. Milkshake, all of that silly shit, it's not real food. Ice cream, it's not real food. Processed food, avoid that. Now, I am not going to sit here and say that, you should completely avoid it, because now, even me looking like the way I do, I eat 80% clean. The 20% might be some bullshit. However, this video is about what I would do in that utopia of getting jacked ASAP. So if I really had that level of discipline and, I wasn't even trying to just have fun with life. I wanted to be super strict, which I actually don't recommend. So maybe I'm contradicting myself, because the reality is that isn't sustainable. When you have just pure good food, it can feel so restrictive. You're like, okay, I'm gonna cheat now. So let me not even say that, but let's just say you could do either or. But personally, just stick to real food majority of the time. Potatoes, rice, chicken, meat, fish. In fact, here's what I currently follow, and I wish I'd done this from day one. Every single meal has to have ideally some sort of protein source. So for breakfast, I'm either gonna run with eggs, bacon, or some sort of meat. But sometimes I even do both. So it has to have a protein source. And then I have to have a good carb source. That could be, wholemeal bread, brown bread. That could be some oats, but I'm gonna have some sort of good carbs. Finally, with every single meal, I'm gonna have fruit and vegetables included. Right? So for breakfast, I'm gonna go for fruits. I'm gonna have summer fruits with my oats, some bananas. For lunch, I'm gonna have vegetables. For dinner, I'm probably gonna have vegetables. But every single meal, I have to have fruit, veg, meat, good carb source, and I'm good to go. So you want to look in your diet with that simple process there, right? There's so many sources of protein, and that's why when people say I can't hit my protein, I used to be that guy when I was complaining that I'm a hard gainer. I just wasn't trying hard enough. I wasn't applying my knowledge. I wasn't being smart. It's easy, bro. It's cheaper than eating dirty. When you eat dirty, you're eating all of this silly shit. That's a lot harder than eating clean. Eating clean can be cheap if you move smart with it. And further going into the diet, to this day, I still track my calories. Now, again, this video is just telling you what I would do in the ideal world, and I still do this. I'm living proof, but I track my calories every single day. When you track your calories accurately with a scale and you weigh out your food, you are guaranteed to get the results you desire as long as you train properly, because you know exactly what is going in your body. Think about it. If your maintenance calories is 2,800 a day and you eat 2,800 a day, you're gonna roughly be the same weight each week. So now if you do the same thing where you are trying to build muscle and you're eating above your maintenance, you're going to build muscle because you're tracking it properly. So when I hear that excuse of, oh, it's too long, I can't track my calories, I just think you don't want it bad enough. You truly don't want it bad enough. So I would continue tracking up my calories. I would invest into a calorie app. I currently use MyNet Diary, and I would find out my maintenance calories, and I would track my calories every single day. In fact, you get to a point where it becomes so easy because you eat the same foods a lot of the time. I have oats every day, I have eggs every day, so now I just know off by heart how much calories and macros are in that. So over time, I would argue you technically track less. What I mean is that when I go on my app, I pretty much just tap one button and then it's boom, it's there, because I had the same thing the night before. The only time it might be different, and when I can't track, let's just say I go to a restaurant and I can't track, that's cool. But other than that, I'm gonna track every single day to ensure I'm getting the results that I desire. So now we're gonna talk about macronutrients, which are extremely important. I would teach myself what macros are and what micros are. Macronutrients are protein, fats, and carbs. Proteins are going to be your building blocks of muscle. They come from like dairy, meat, and fish. Those are the things I mentioned before. You need to be getting, at least in my opinion, 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every single day, despite if you're on a cut or you're bulking. So I would make sure I stick to that goal. At first, I wasn't really tracking my stuff, so I didn't know I was hitting that goal, but I would ensure I'm hitting that goal every single day. Secondly, I am heavy on that. You need carbs to optimize your training. When you train, you are using glycogen. Your body's using glucose, sugars to, pull for energy. So now when you limit your carbs, where are you getting your energy from? Yes, you can make the argument that, keto exists and carnivore diet exists and your body can eventually tap into ketones for energy, but that is not sustainable for the average person. Like if you work a 9 to 5 or you have a life and you want to enjoy food, you're not going to be doing that shit, bro. You need enough fats to optimize testosterone levels and hormones and things like that. So your fats have to be included in your diet. So that's the diet side, and probably the most important side down. And going forward, I would focus on training smart and not always hard. What I mean is that I would avoid the ego lifting to an extent. I think everyone's going to have to go through ego lifting because you need to ideally learn the form and you need to push your limits. But as soon as I find it, I wouldn't push myself. What I mean is that you need to listen to your body. I've been injured a few times in the gym because I neglected and I didn't listen to my body. I thought that I could push through the pain, but if you truly feel a pain where you think, oh shit, 9 times out of 10, you're probably about to injure yourself. I've injured my wrist, I've injured my lower back, I've injured my hamstring, I've injured my glutes, and that's because I neglected proper rest and recovery. But furthermore, I push myself too hard. It's important that you're pushing yourself, you're training harder than last time, but what is more important is that you're actually listening to your body as well. But I would make sure that I'm not ego lifting too much. Now I'm very in my element where I don't need to be doing that shit anymore, but I would just avoid ego lifting because it can really harm your gains. So when I say avoid ego lifting, it's basically the mindset that pushing like heavy weights and with bad form is more impressive than lifting a weight that you can control with good form. That's how you actually need to train. When you see me train, I'm not lifting shit that I can't lift, bro. If something is too heavy for me, so for example, when I've got my rep range, if I can't get to the end of that rep range towards failure, then that means it's probably too light. And if I can only do 1 or 2 reps, then that means it's too heavy, because I like to train anywhere between 8 to 15 reps depending on what I'm doing. I may go to 6 sometimes, but typically I'm a lot higher. So I would just make sure that for every single exercise, my form is on lock. Furthermore, I'm not going to ego lift because I don't want to get injured. And when it comes to the rep range now, I would focus on what I'm doing right now. So when I first started, I was chasing that pump, I was chasing volume. I thought it was about, just doing a shit ton of reps. I was doing like 20 reps, 25 reps, 30, just a shit ton of reps. But I realize now it's about intensity. It's about how hard you are training, how close you are getting to failure. So how hard you're pushing yourself. You want to make sure you're training harder than last time. Like, the gym is not meant to be easy. Like, you should not have an easy gym session. You shouldn't hop in the gym and think that, oh yeah, I can just throw about a few weights and go home. It should be hard, bro. You're dead. You're going to fucking war, as corny as it sounds. Like, every time I go to the gym, I give it my all, even when I don't feel like it, because that's why I'm there. I want to have a productive session. Big change I'll make is I would stop comparing myself to other men. When I first started the gym, I'd be on Instagram, YouTube, all these platforms, just scrolling and thinking, oh, this guy has an insane physique. I want to be like that. Why am I not looking like that? When in reality, I should be focused on becoming the best version of myself, because how someone else looks is irrelevant to me. Now I'm so focused on myself. I'm in my own lane. I don't need to worry about that. But I was so caught up with trying to look like, Michael B. Jordan or Just Merck. These are 2 people that I used to look up to, when I should have been looking at the future that man I'm going to be in, just becoming my best version of myself. So I would stop comparing myself to other people online, especially when I tell you right now as an influencer that the angles, the lighting, the how they ate the night before, it all plays a big part, camera quality, into how you're gonna look. So now when you compare yourself to these physiques, you're not realizing that when we're relaxed, like I'm relaxed right now, right, I'm gonna look a lot different So when I'm flexing, look, I'm flexing right now, I probably look a bit bigger. But when I relax, you know, I look different. And that's my point, where you can't compare yourself to people you see online because you don't know what they've gone through. You know, I consistently get steroid and unnatural accusations, but you don't know what the shit I've gone through. I've been doing this for 7 years, almost a decade. I would question myself if I didn't look the way I do today. And in fact, I'm a very humble person. I look at myself and I'm like, I could look a lot better than this. I still got more work to be done. The job is never done. This is a lifestyle for me. So I would have that mindset of, okay, cool, I'm in this for the long run. I can't compare myself to other people because I'm never going to look like them, even if I have similar genetics. Furthermore, I never really worried about genetics because, you know, I kind of realized after a certain point that there's nothing you can do about them. And just, yeah, get out that mindset of genetics, because genetics do not put in the work for you. You can be emotional and sulk and complain about genetics, or you can just shut up and get the work done and get to where you want to be. And when you hop in the gym, you need to understand that it's not about becoming the biggest guy in the room. It's about becoming the best version of yourself in that room. It's about walking into the gym and bringing out the best of you in that room, bringing out the best man in you, right? So when you now compare yourself to other people, you're taking away the true reason for why you're there. You're not there to compete against other men. You're not there to size up against other men. You're there to unlock that true version of yourself. So yes, genetics might give someone a fair advantage, but why the fuck do you care if you can't do anything about it? So do not compare yourself to other men. Right, now, I know it's easy to overlook your sleep when you're on that grind. You're so locked in. You're having late nights, early mornings. But bro, I wish I knew the importance of sleep as a man, especially, bro. Your testosterone is going to drop when you don't get enough sleep, right? And testosterone is so important for just how we function, how we think, how we perform. It's correlated to how much muscle you're going to build. So when you're trying to optimize it naturally, you need to ensure damn well that you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. So I would make sure that I'm sleeping at the same time every single day and I'm waking up at the same time every single day, because that means your circadian rhythm is going to be in check, and that's going to help you do a lot more and perform better in the gym. You know, we all know how we feel after a shit night of sleep. The next day is hell. So I would master my recovery. I would master my rest and make sure that I'm getting enough sleep day to day. You know, your body actually builds muscle when you're resting, not when you're in the gym. When you're in the gym, your body's breaking down those muscles. So now when you rest and recover, that's when you're going to get the most gains. And for me, looking back, the time I saw, you know, a big jump in gains was when I looked in my diet and sleep at the same time. I started realizing, hold on a minute, I'm late night gaming, I'm doing all this dumb shit, let me lock it in. And that's when I was like, oh shit, because my recovery was on point. One more thing now, I would also make sure that my routine reflects my lifestyle. So I'm not going to give you guys an optimized routine, the blueprint, because there's no such thing. Everyone is different. So I would look at my lifestyle and make sure that my routine fits that lifestyle. There was one point I was training 7 days a week, but where's my rest? Where's my recovery? It's not optimal. So I would be smart with it. I would ensure that I have at least 2 rest days in my routine a week. And I would ensure that inside that routine, I'm choosing the right exercises that hits every muscle. That's another thing I lacked. When I first started, there were certain muscles I neglected. We all used to, well, I used to not hit legs. I was skipping legs when in fact they're the most important muscle. When you hit legs, your body's gonna produce more growth hormone. When you hit legs, your body's gonna have a better foundation. When you hit legs, you're gonna be more proportional. So I would make sure I'm training legs. I would make sure I'm hitting rear delts. I would make sure I understand what is the makeup of an aesthetic body. Is having a low body fat percentage. It's about being lean, having a V taper and a good shoulder to waist ratio. And the only way you're gonna get there is by mastering all these things that we talk about in this video. So when I talk about getting jacked, it's not about becoming like just super wham and huge. It's about having that lean, muscular, athletic sort of physique that most people desire, that V shape, that V taper. And arguably the most important thing, I would make sure that before I embarked on this journey of getting jacked, that I have a purpose beyond getting jacked. When I first hopped in the gym and my purpose was to get jacked to get more women, I kind of realized that if I keep thinking like this, I'm not going to get very far. Because when we actually go deeper into the psyche of women now, to an extent, there's going to be a limiting sort of diminishing return point where you can keep getting jacked, but your sex appeal is not going to change with women. And going even further into that, it gets to a point when you realize training for women is actually foolish, because you should just be trying to become the best version of yourself and women will come along with that. But you need to have a deeper purpose beyond just trying to get big. In fact, one problem I had when hopping on this gym journey, at one point my life was just gym. I'm there talking to girls about gym, and all I'm thinking about is protein shakes, gym, and gym, bro. That's some corny ass shit, bro. You need to have a deeper sense of being and purpose in his life. What else do you like to do? You know, is that watching anime? Is that creating content? Is that, you know, even gaming? But having doing these things in moderation. But you need to have a deeper sense than I'm just gonna get big, because there's so much more to life than the gym, bro. Now I go to the gym all the time because it's a lifestyle, but like, it's not the most exciting thing in my life. I've been doing this shit for a long time. It's casual. I don't even stress it. It's just, I gotta go to the gym. But you need to have a reason of like why you're going to the gym, more than just like simple-minded things. Have a deep purpose. Like, are you going to the gym to find your purpose? Are you going to the gym to unlock that best version of yourself? But find exactly what it is. You're gonna realize that discipline is what brings people like me here. You know, I'm not motivated to work out anymore. I'm truly not. Most days I'm like, kind of like in my head, in the back of my head, fuck, I gotta work out, but I get it done. So discipline is forever. Motivation is fleeting, and I understand that. And I would, you know, really hold on to that before. There was a lot of times, you know, back in the day where I would skip the gym because I couldn't be bothered, but I don't think like that anymore. I make the time for the gym. In fact, when I worked my 9 to 5, I was still working out, you know, 5 times a week. So you can't make that excuse of you ain't got time for the gym, because we all do. I know some man that work a 9 to 5 and a part-time job. They're still in the gym 5 times a week. They're making time for it. So you can't use that as an excuse. I don't typically like the whole conversation of supplements, simply because some people are like, you got it confused, bro. Like, supplements can help and will help if you have the fundamentals down. So let's just say you do everything that I said in this video properly. What I would also do is these 2 things, right? I would make sure I'm doing cardio at least 3 times a week to enhance my cardiovascular health, which is going to make me feel better, perform better in the gym, as well as my health is going to be better, and we know that health is wealth. Furthermore, I would look at taking creatine, because it is one of the best, most researched supplements. You can get a bit of creatine in your diet, but it's so small it doesn't do anything. But if you take creatine, you stock up in them ATP stores, you're going to perform better in the gym. So I would take creatine from day one. But regarding the protein, I would only take a protein shake if I wasn't hitting my protein goal. So that's what I do now. If I need a bit more protein in my diet, I'm going to take it, but I don't take it every day. Other supplements that could be good is like caffeine, pre-workout. However, I would only take it if I'm hitting the fundamentals, like I said. And I would do what I do now, where I only take that pre-workout if I really need it, or a leg day. And on the other days, I'm going to take like a no-stim pre-workout, because you should not be taking pre-workout every day. For sleeping correctly, eating right, that should be enough fuel to get the job done. So yeah, that's my full guide on how to get jacked if I had to start again from level 1. And if you found this video useful, check out one of these videos here. Make sure you hit that like button, sub to the channel, and I will catch you back with an upload very soon.